This blankety blank phone keeps cutting off. I'm having a lot of problems with this phone, and it's less than a year old. And now you can't get anything coming out of China because, hello, or stable genius in the White House. Anyhow, okay. I'm increasing my prompts to myself because I only have 2 left that I put out in my little sketchbook ahead of time to go by. And I'm kind of going to stretch those with some abstract theory. I'm making sure you're still on. Some kind of out there thought processes instead of an actual, like an animal or the people who were here before the lake or whatever. Today's abstract theory is sunshine. Because Lake Murray is an awesome place to be in the summertime. We are very fortunate to live here. Well, us and a few of our thousands and thousands of friends. It didn't used to be like that. It's very crowded now. It didn't help that our school district got really high marks like 5 or 6 years ago. 5 or 7 years ago, and now they're not as high, but now everybody lives up here. They're still good for our state. Our state is still one of the lowest ones in the country as far as education, but this area is the best in the state. Used to be. I don't know if it still is. So I'm going to do a sunshine theme, and I'm going to glue this on here. This is really thin paper, and it is painted, and it has some layers, but only in a couple places, so I think glue will be fine. After I glue this paper on here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I thought I might just take some abstract thought processes as a prompt, and the first one that came to mind was sunshine. It is a gorgeous place to be, as long as you're in the water, from about mid-June to mid-September. Otherwise, it's too hot. And we usually, used to be, the weather pattern would be, we have a thunderstorm every afternoon. Now that pattern is not as much. We get these wackadoodle storms like every 4 or 5 days in the summer when the heat is too much for the atmosphere. And they just set off all these microburst things. But knock on wood, we've had a couple of those lately, so hopefully we're finished with those for a little bit. But judging by the weather that's going through right now, I'm kind of rounding the corners a little bit here. I might actually cut this quite good. Okay. So sunshine. How do you combat the sunshine if you're outside? You get in the water. What are my favorite ways to get in the water? On a kayak, on a paddleboard, on my princess chair, which is a chair that floats that I've had for, good grief, probably 15 years. And I tie it up to the dock and read a book. And that way, the reason why I tie it to the dock is so if I float off with the ripples of the water, I don't have to exert any effort to come back to the dock. My paddleboat, my paddleboard, I can't stand up on it. I don't have enough balance. And, but I can sit on it Indian style. Used to. Since I broke my ankle and a lot of my metal is on that outside edge, I can't sit Indian style anymore. Especially on something hard like a paddleboard. So, and my legs aren't long enough to like sit with them hanging over the edges. I'm very short. And so I have graduated to my husband's kayak. That I can handle. But now they have kayaks that have like trolling motors on them. And you don't have to exert any exercise. And or they have kayaks that have like a foot pedal thing. Like almost like a paddle boat. And I'm like, hint, hint. But I'm just giving him a hard time. Sort of. Okay, so sunshine. This is a paper that I had stuff embedded into it on a jelly plate and did that process a couple days ago. And now sometimes stuff doesn't like to stick to vellum, but I think this will be okay. Seems like it. Cutting it at the spine helps. So now what? I don't know. Let's get out one of my books. One of my previous journals for inspiration. And see if I can find something kind of bright and cheerful and whatever. And see what I can come up with here. This came out. I really need to repair this journal. See, I love this. I know there's Hawaii in here. Somewhere. Aha, volcano. It doesn't scream sunshine to me. It screams tropics, but it doesn't scream sunshine. This kind of does. Oh, there's a lemon. Actually, I think that's a, what do you call those things? Compass. Compass. Oh, here's a pretty piece of paper. It almost looks like Northern Lights right there. That's one thing on my bucket list that I still have not seen is Northern Lights. Some of these are my own pictures. Yosemite. Postcard from Yosemite. Great Smoky Mountains. That's the first place I ever went camping. I was 3 months old in the back of a station wagon, camping in the back of a car. You think it's in my blood? I think it is. Ooh, I like that. But I want yellow, theoretically. Here's some yellow, but I don't want that either. Grand Canyon. Okay. I think we've gone through that one. Let's get out this guy, because I'm pretty sure there's some tropic stuff in here. Like her. I love her. She's pink. I want yellow. Ooh. Maybe that. I don't have the marbling stuff anymore. I like this washi tape. I think this was a fake trip. This is a trip you can take at that point from Viking Cruises. And you could go like all the way around the world. From Miami to England. Whew. I don't think they offer that anymore because there's problematic places now. And I think I was faking my own trip. Making a fantasy thing. Ah, I've had scones now. When I made this, I hadn't had a scone for real. Oh yeah, I had a tea party. Did that thing just cut off again? No. Okay. I had a tea party with the Queen. What is a weekend? Oh, these were quotes from Maggie. Oh, she's dead now. Was it Maggie Smith that was on Downton Abbey? What is a weekend? I do think a woman's place is eventually in the home before she gets there, but I see no harm in her having some fun. I couldn't have electricity in the house. I wouldn't sleep a wink, all those vapors floating about. I was right about my maid. She's leaving to get married. I mean, how could she be so selfish? Nothing succeeds like excess. That's the thought process of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. You know me, never complain, never explain. She had some great quotes in that. And now I've been there and had scones there. My first scone was at the little tea shop in, here we go, in at Highclere Castle. Well, that's colorful. But it doesn't scream sunshine. Well, it kind of does. All of my pictures for this journal came out of a Daphne's Diary. Oh, here's my color palette. Aruba blue, Sardinia green, Puerto Rico green, Tuscany orange, Puerto Rico. Oh, two Puerto Rico greens. Interesting. Rhodes tan, Monaco grape, Rhodes. Why do I have two of these? Two Rhodes tan. Baltic blue, Beijing red. Could have been Vietnam red. Here's another Sardinia green. I think I tried to do this twice. Barcelona orange. What could we call our color? Yellow. Okay, there we go. We could call it... Saxe-Gotha is a German colony that was here. And Dutch Fork was another German colony. German immigrants were some of the first here in this area. Could we call it Dutch Fork yellow? I don't know if that makes sense. Bomber yellow? Let's call it bomber yellow for the World War II guys. Ooh, here's some boats. Oh, let's do that. Okay. This is our paddle boat in our, whatchamacallit, kayak. Not really, but we could pretend like they are. And we could have in the background bomber yellow. Is that too much? It says winking, you have too much. Bomber yellow. Okay, we got inspired by our own journal, which is what I want to do. All right, so let me write this down before my head goes kaflooey. I got lots of things on my mind right now. And I only have space for one thing at a time. Post-its. Where are post-its? Oh, I have tons of post-its, but I can never find them when I need them. I have a whole drawer of post-its, actually. All right, we're just going to use one of these. Bomber yellow, which really doesn't make sense, but I'm going to put bomber yellow in case I think of something else. And what did I say? Oh, some kind of sailboat thing. And sunshine. Our abstract thought process prompt for what we're doing today. I need to get these off. These are pretty colors. Not for sunshine, but pretty blues. Whew, really pretty blues. Maybe we can do blues because of the water. That's another abstract thought process. Okay, look here. Post it. Okay, so now let's get out our small scraps and make some boats. Yellow boats. How about that? This could be like something. Not to be confused with yellow submarines, mind you. Great. I have some scraps, but I'm trying to use up old stuff. All right. And the way those boats went, they were very rudimentary. Why do I have dog hair all over me? Oh, the poor dog's pouting today because it's raining, and probably all day. Like, I don't like the rain. He had to get his backside cleaned again yesterday. Nobody told me that when you have a dog with long fur, there are times when their fur gets in the way of their bodily functions. Let's just put it that way. But they do. Word to the wise. We were trying to hold out to give him a bath until we went to the beach because it's easier down there. But I'm like, dear, I'm afraid that ain't going to work. Oh, I love this idea. It's just the fun stuff in life. You got to make fun when it's not fun around you, right? Okay, here's our sailboat mast. Mast, how do you say it? I don't know. Oh, my husband's daughters even had a sailboat one time. A little one. It was a kid's one. And we bought it from somebody used. And my husband painted it. It was had been sitting in somebody's garage for a very long time. And we painted it. We named it the Marley for Margaret and Lily. And we had it on the deck Christmas morning. It was so cool. That's when the kids were little and you could do things like that, and they were appreciative, thrilled. They used it for several summers. Oh my God, they had so much fun on that thing. And then they got too big for it, it wasn't cool to do that anymore. They graduated to the jet ski. But then we took it to the church garage sale, and they sold it. And that was like the most favorite item that year at the garage sale. All right, I'm looking in my ink stash. I do have yellow, but I don't think yellow's going to show up. Yellow on yellow may not show up. What is this called? Chrome yellow, as opposed to bomber yellow. I don't think I like the name bomber. No, see, that doesn't show up. But pink might. Bubblegum pink. Oh yeah, the bubblegum pink does. What else could I name my yellow that would apply to Lake Murray? If it was purple, it would be called Purple Martin Yellow. Purple Martin Purple. I could say like duckbill, mallard duckbill yellow, but that's a lot. Ooh. Eagle talon yellow. It's more of a, is it more yellow or orange? Or we could say like bass eye yellow, like the color of the yellow in a bass in their eyes. I just want this to show up just a little bit off this yellow as opposed to that yellow. And I'm going to add other colors to these because I don't want them all the same to the mast. And make this one all blue. And maybe make that one green. You can still see the color underneath it, but it's enough of a difference, sort of. What else is yellow? Are y'all screaming at me? These are not to be confused with the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. A regatta. Ooh, regatta yellow? I like regatta yellow. You could have regatta sails. We might go with regatta yellow, and that way the boats make sense, right? Right, okay. I think I'm good with this right here. I was talking to my friend from California. We were kind of making tentative plans. Will your kids do this? Will your kids do that? Blah, blah, blah. For her visit. And well, she's getting here in the most convoluted way, but who am I to talk? She is Sacramento, or no, maybe San Francisco. I'm not sure. One of those. To LA. Now they're flying overnight. And the thought process that they'll sleep, but then they stop like 5 times. Which I know is cheaper, and I know the things are astronomical, but it's like, if you bought your tickets 2 months ago, it would have been better. But she doesn't plan in advance on anything. Love her dearly. I think it's like mid-California down to LA, to Detroit, to, I think, Charlotte or Atlanta, one of the two, and then into Myrtle Beach. I'm like, oh, I would slit my wrists. Not really, but I would have planned better, that's for sure. Okay, wherever I put these, I need to glue them because I'm going to, like, add the sailboat strings, whatever you call those. Is that a spinnaker? No, I don't think so. Lines, maybe. And that will give me, that will give me places to put these guys. I might add some more stuff to them. And really and truly, if this were to be used again as inspiration, it could be for the shapes here. They don't have to be classified as boats. They don't have to be classified as yellow. You know, this shape or that shape might be more prominent in the next inspiration. Okay, people, behave. I like that it's a little distressed, obviously, grungy. I think we're going to do... Okay, let's put in... I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of do this. So they look like boats, right? Or upside down mushrooms with strings hanging off of, spider webs hanging off of them, whatever. Or there could be mushrooms on the next page. Who knows? Maybe a flag. Maybe like an anchor or something. The name. I don't know what the names are. They didn't tell me. Okay. Now I think I might go in with more yellow. You're just world building right here. That's all this is. This is a really yellow spot, but I think I might even add more yellow. Why is there a pen? Oh no! One of my gel pens is in my paint water. That has my name written all over it, since nobody else comes in here. That was a boo-boo. I wonder if I let it dry off, it'll work still. Sometimes when you have a wet surface, this doesn't go to... Okay, that's a little brighter. There's some white here. We're just going to kind of play with the white a little bit in places. Right now, the birds are out there saying, okay, we can't use that pen at the moment. But we can use a gold pen. Okay. Bomber yellow. No, what did I say? Oh my gosh. How about water noodle yellow? No. What did I say? Did I say sailboat yellow? I can't even remember now. Should we put in like waves? No. We should put in though. There's almost like a sun shape right here. Oh, that made all the difference in the world, she says sarcastically. What are the buoy things that you put off the side of your boat so you don't hit the dock? What are those called? Yes, I have lived here for 30 years. In this same house. Bumpers. Bumper yellow? That doesn't sound right either. Okay, we're going to do sunshine. Sunshine, I'm going to call it sunshine on my shoulder. Somewhere. Maybe right up here. Isn't that the song? Sunshine on my shoulder. Sunshine on, I don't know, John Denver, right? Right. And then what is this called? Lemonade yellow. How about that? Because you drink lemonade in the summer. Done deal. That abstract kind of thought process was fun. Very, very fun. And I'm stretching my prompts. Bonus prompts. I like this. It's kind of out there. Oh dear, I almost put I put my gold pen in the water too. Jeez. That's really out there. But that's how I wanted it to be. Truly. So tomorrow we have vellum and vellum, which I might just need to cover up again also. Fun! Hope the camera's still on. And it is. Okay. I really like that. Starting the Monday off, well, starting your Tuesday off with bright yellow. Lemonade yellow.